and welcome to another episode of Sense&Rants. I am Mutumari Adeola. On today's episode, we're talking about parenting. Yes, how we were parented versus how we are parenting our kids. I'm joined by my beautiful friend Elaine. Let's meet her. Alrighty. Hi, Elaine. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
really
excited to talk
excited.
to you.
Yeah, I am. It's our first time meeting and it feels like I've known you already.
I
So
know. It's weird. Good vibe. Hey, this is where we sing the song. What's that song by Laddie Paul? And he said something
oh,
about, if it's good vibes, send it my way. If it's bad vibes, keep it away. Something like that. Yo, check
I
out the
don't know the
song.
song,
I'll,
but
I'll send it to you. It's a good song,
okay.
actually. Yeah. So let's talk about motherhood in a redefined way, in a redefined our way, not the way our parents,
hmm
think parenthood should be. So, take us through your parenting during the pandemic. What was that like?
Oh my God. Do I really want to go there? So during the pandemic, girl, let me tell you, it was a lot happening. As you already know, I actually was in front of all of this because I'm a nurse. So I'm upfront and personal with this. So not only am I dealing with that at work, I'm dealing with the fact that we can't go anywhere. So parenting wise, I decided that I'm going to limit screen time. And I know I did the opposite of what everyone else was doing. And the reason is because now like we had nowhere to go. Literally, we're all stuck together. There's nowhere to take the kids. Like all we could do is go in the backyard or go in front of the house and walk around.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you walked around the neighborhood, people would look at you like, "What are you doing?"
Stay
You
away
know.
from
So
me.
yeah, I mean, like I wasn't even like close to their houses. I was just like walking like on the sidewalk, and they would just be in their house outside, like looking, like, "What are you doing out?" You know. Anyway, so parenting for me, I limited screen time because I felt like my it was time for me to like how do I had the time to now um step back and like focus on the kids,
Mm.
as opposed to before it was just like go go go, my husband's going to work, I'm going to work, we're dropping the daycare, and then we meet up on our days off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we were just going and going, and I think the pandemic for us was like, okay, take a step back
Yeah.
and get yourselves together because y'all are just moving around and
Yeah.
not really taking it all in. So I taking the screen away, which meant I had to like create an actual routine for the day,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to be consistent every day. Like it had to be
At the same
I had to be
time.
very strict same time because kids do better with structure.
Right.
And so I, in the mornings, we would eat, I would make breakfast, we'll eat breakfast, and they're so energized in the morning. So I did a lot of their teaching during that time.
Okay.
Teaching meaning like ABCs, coloring, numbers. After that, would go outside in the front yard or in the backyard, and we'll do water activities like, I don't know, sprinklers, get them out, spray them with
Okay.
water, have them in bathing suits, paint with chalks on the ground. I mean, we did like a lot of running back and forth. I was trying this new keto diet at the time. So I was exploring and
Really? Did
exercising.
it
Yes,
work for you?
girl. It worked a lot for me. It did really
Nice.
good. But I lost a lot of hair, so we're not gonna do that again.
No, we're not.
Yeah, that was the thing. I was like, no, that's where it's a cut for me. I'm not trying to, be bald.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I was exercising and being active and excited, and so I would have the kids come with me, like, let's run. We'll do like laps outside.
Nice.
Yeah, and then
So
we'll
you were
go
one
back
of the people
inside.
that got your body right during COVID.
Yeah, but it's not right anymore.
Mine, mine ain't right either. So let's just leave it at that. But it's
Yeah, I fell off the wagon. So that part was good.
okay. Hmm.
Okay. The part that was really stressful was for me to go to work knowing that I'm facing COVID, and then I will be coming back home,
Hmm.
possibly, I don't know if I'm infected, and I could give it to my family.
Yeah.
Now, that was the hardest part for me. And at the beginning, I was scared. I was mortified.
Yeah.
When I say mortified, I couldn't touch anything. I was just like, I don't want to, the patience. I was like, we're gonna have a distance between you and I. I mean, everything changed.
Yeah.
That personal relationship you have with your patient, that came to an end for me. I'm like, I gotta protect me and my family.
Your family.
Like, I'm here to help you, but we're not gonna get this close. It
Yeah.
was like,
You're not gonna
yeah,
get too close to me.
which you're not supposed to do that, but at that time everybody was literally fighting for their, doctors. Some doctors were not going in the room.
Yeah.
So it's like, if doctors don't want to come in here,
Hmm.
I need to keep, protect myself. Everybody was fighting for their own selves and their families. So pandemic time was a trying time. And because I'm a nurse, aside, like, I wasn't complaining about, oh, we're staying home. Like, what? I was thankful to wake up every day,
Yeah.
because I saw people's life change within minutes, within hours.
Literally, I read about a doctor on online. She lost her parents, both parents, within like 2 weeks, and then
Yes,
she had lost like uncles and aunties, and she
yes,
was still working.
yeah.
And I don't know, this person that just really wanted to hug us so bad. Like, you were going through so much, not just collectively as human beings, but even as a person, because it was
Hmm.
just like she needs to cry, but she doesn't even have the freedom to mourn her loss. Our
No,
losses really, I feel
it
like
was
we
it was
don't know. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry. I said it was terrible. Um, but I had to separate myself from, like, when I went to work, I separated my home
Mm-hmm.
life and just focused on that. And then when I came from, work, I just had to detach
Yeah.
and just like pretend like what I thought, what it just didn't happen, because I don't want it to be affecting our kids or my husband. So it was a lot. And I was thankful to be breathing. I wasn't complaining about staying at home. I was, it was hard, but I was
Yeah.
like, I'm thankful that I'm alive and
Here, yeah.
healthy. My kids are healthy. My husband, we're all alive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
What was your, were you like scared at any point, or like were you guilty? Do you feel guilty at any point? Your
yeah,
kids, your husbands, how did you
yeah,
manage that?
yeah. I felt guilty. I was like, okay, so I could just quit my job and apply for government aid until
Yeah.
we figure this out. Um, I felt guilty. The beginning was really tough,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm like, okay, how far can I go to put my family at risk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were all nurses, were all the healthcare workers. We were obviously thinking about this. So I'm like, how far are we really gonna go to put our family at
A
risk?
risk, yeah.
Because everybody saw us. If they saw you in scrubs at that time, it was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah. People
get
like avoided a little bit, yeah, and that's fair. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And they look at you weird. They give you weird, like, what are you doing in scrubs
Like
out here?
outside,
Like,
yeah.
I'm coming from work.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so yeah, I felt guilty. I felt bad, and I'm like, this is the career that I signed up for. So what do I do? How do I I got on my vitamins. I was very religious about taking my vitamins.
Yeah.
I did not skip a day. I drank lots of water.
Yeah.
I worked out on my days off. I was doing 4 to 5 mile walks. I mean, I got serious.
Wow.
Um, I was eating really good. I was, eating healthy, lots of veggies and all that. I normally don't care for veggies, but I was very.
COVID did that. It helped
I
you
mean,
feel better.
I forced myself to eat veggies every day.
Yeah.
But at that time, I was enjoying my veggies, because I'm like,
It was
you're
something
you're
you needed to
you're going
do.
to you're going to love these veggies, okay?
Put some spice on it, make it better.
Yeah, I said boiled raw, we eating it. Anyway, yeah, so I
That
did a
is
lot of
crazy.
lifestyle changing at that
Yeah.
time. Luckily, I came out, you know, safe and sound.
Mhm.
It did not touch me or my family, as far as my husband, my kids. So only God knows. Only God
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
how.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So you've been talking about your kids, your kids, your kids. Let's talk about parenting, right?
Okay.
So I'll
Yeah.
start with, what kind of parenting style do you have, if you have one?
I do have one.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm an authoritative. I have an authoritative parenting style,
Okay.
not authoritarian. There's difference.
Okay.
Authoritarian, I'll tell the difference. Is authoritarian is somebody that I'm your mom and you're gonna listen to me and I don't care what you have to say. I don't care what what your feelings are.
Yeah.
They have more strict rules and they're very like they have a very strict approach to parenting,
Hmm.
and so they don't care how you feel about it. Like
Yeah.
I'm your mom. I feel like my dad was like that
Hmm.
when you
Most
know.
African parents were like that, but okay.
So that part is a different than authoritative parenting style. That's
Parenting.
the one I have. That one is firm and supportive at the same time. It balances. So you basically let you know who's your kids who's in charge, but at
Hmm.
the same time you listen to them expressing themselves.
Hmm.
You also explain like what the rules are and you discuss it among each other. Like we talk about it together.
Hmm.
Like these are the rules that are gonna happen. And this is the reasoning of these
Behind.
rules.
Yeah.
When they do have good behavior, I do acknowledge it. I do hooray, the whole shebang. We're
Yeah.
cheerleaders. We go above and beyond. We do cupcakes. We do all kind of little cute things. I'm so proud of you. All that affirmations,
Hmm.
positive affirmations, helps with self-esteem and
Hmm.
confidence. So that's my approach. I don't know if you understand like where I'm coming from.
I do actually. I guess I have a question though. So does that make you your children's best friend, or does it just make you their mother and friend?
I wouldn't say best friend.
Okay. Okay.
I would say more of a friend.
Okay.
They can come to me and talk to me, but I don't want to be to that level of a best friend. Because if we're best friend, we're literally at like
Yeah.
everything is just
Everything. Yeah.
yeah. No, we're not.
We're not doing that.
No, because the thing for me, if we become best friends, we are deviating from the parent uh child relationship, and
Hmm.
I still want to maintain that. I think we could easily lose the respect as
Hmm.
mom and daughter, because that's who I have right now. I only have
Yeah.
daughters. Easily lose that if I'm not careful with how like too far I go with the whole best friend thing.
Hmm.
And I don't want people to misunderstand me. I want them to be
My
trust
friend. Yeah.
to trust me and come in to me and talk to me. But if they tell me something that I don't like, I'm going to be honest about it. I'm not going to be like, oh, sweetheart, like, that's okay. No,
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, no, this is not good, baby. Like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
So I've seen instances where parents are best friends with their mom and
Hmm.
they could just be, they could refer them to their first name or whatever the case is,
Yeah.
or laugh about like call each other names that girlfriends nowadays call each other, and that's a little far from me.
Yeah, like I'm still an African mother after all.
Yeah, I still have that in me. I think that's what I will always have from my parents. I'm
Yeah.
still African, but I'm definitely way way laid back.
Leave back. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you talked about your dad being like the strict parent, right? So
Yes.
talk. My parents. I don't even know if I have a parenting style from them because yeah. Let's just move on. But from my mom, I don't know if I learned a parenting style, but I guess I learned what it looks like to be a woman of your own, like to be your own person, to
Mhm.
be driven, to have a
Mhm.
goal, to work hard. Um, yeah. So take us to like your parenting style and how that differs from that of your parents.
So, talk about my parents' parenting style or the
Yeah.
difference.
You can
Okay.
both actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So in Nigerian, sorry to cut you off, sorry about that. So in
no
Nigerian
problem.
parent household, or typically is going to be, I say something, you do it. You don't ask me
Right.
questions, you just do it. You
Yes.
don't do it, you get, something thrown at you, you get hit, you get bashed or whatever. Of course, that's not happening. Child abuse, this is America after all. But like, there's still
Yeah.
some things that I feel like as African parents, you're still holding on to. So
Yeah. So for me, actually, the way I was raised is that my dad was very, you're gonna do it because I'm your dad and I said
mhm.
so. Like there was no asking, questioning, or anything. My mom was different. So my mom, she didn't, she would talk to you, and so you would feel guilty from just her talking to you. She wouldn't spank. She didn't spank us. She didn't hit us. She didn't do any of that. Just her talking to you was enough.
Yeah,
She didn't
you'd
yell.
rather be spanked than talked to.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, am I that bad? And I appreciated that because she explained.
Hmm.
She said, now you know, you know what you did here, and it's the way that she explained things, and you're like, oh my god, I'm such a horrible person.
Listen, yeah.
Um, I appreciated her explaining things and her talking to us about certain things
Hmm.
that we did wrong, not just like, why did you do this and bam, 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 like. And I think I took that from her.
Hmm.
I don't believe in spanking, so I don't do spanking
Okay.
at all. I've never spanked my kids. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. I have never spanked. And I think a lot of my family members are like shook how I can even
How?
manage that.
Yeah. How do you
Um,
get them to do anything? Is the question they'll probably ask you.
yeah, exactly. Um, so my parenting style is different. How it's different. I I didn't hear the words "I love you" from my parents.
Mm.
I didn't get a kiss goodnight from my parents. It was okay, go to bed, bye.
Good night.
Like good night. I didn't get hugs. We didn't get hugs, or like when we hurt ourselves, we didn't get like, are you okay? Like just the
Yeah.
emotional side. We didn't get that vulnerability.
Yep.
I want that included in my family,
Mm.
whether it be sons or daughters. I don't care who it is. It's gonna have to be happening.
Mm.
Um, that is the difference that I think I have from my parents, and communication. I want my kids to communicate. Like, why are you crying? Not
Mhm.
stop crying. Bam.
Yeah. Or I'll
Yeah.
what African Americans say, like, I'll give you more reasons to cry. Like,
Yeah. I
oh
want to know why my kid is crying.
yeah,
First, it could be that they have so much emotions that they don't even
yeah.
know what is going on.
Hmm.
And we adults know how to handle those big emotions. They don't.
Well,
So
sometimes
we need,
even adults don't even know how to, like, there's sometimes even on your period as a woman, your emotions are everywhere and you don't even know what's going on. And just like you just cry and it's like
exactly.
and yeah, that's actually very interesting.
So
Yeah.
why can't a kid experience all these big emotions that in the little
Hmm.
body that they don't know what's happening?
Yeah.
Sometimes my 5-year-old cries and she's like, I don't know why I'm crying. I'm like, okay, we'll give you a hug. Do you want a hug, or do you want to go in the room and
Mm.
take some time? Or she'll tell you, I want a hug, or I want to go and just be alone and
Yeah.
think about what's happening.
Think about my emotions. I love it, girl. Oh
Yeah,
my
so
god,
I
that's
want her
crazy.
to really think about what's happening because she
Hmm.
don't know, and I can't.
Hmm.
I can't help in terms of like what are we fixing? I don't know what we're fixing.
Yeah.
So I really wish we had that because it has affected me in my relationship as an adult in my marriage.
Yeah.
So that's a topic for a different day.
Another
But
day. Yeah.
but yeah, so communication is different.
Uh-huh.
Affection definitely is happening in this house. We kiss good morning, we kiss bye, we kiss good night, we hug. Kids are crying. I do provide affection. I give them, let's hug and find. I'm sorry that you got hurt.
Hmm.
Whatever that's going on, and show them love. Not just say I love you, but show them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Action matters. And so my kids, if they see me say, "Ouch, I hurt myself," they'll run to me and comfort me in the same way that I comfort them.
Yeah, that's
And so
nice.
yeah, they learn by example.
Yeah.
And it starts from home, honestly. So I think that's the difference of the parenting style that I have. I
Mm.
think is that the question you were
Yeah,
asking? I
yeah,
don't know.
and that,
Okay.
that's actually a very interesting answer. And from what you said, right? I took note of some things. I love you. A friend of mine used to just freely say I love you. Like every
Hmm.
conversation, she drops me off at home. We go out to dinner. Like she was the type that would just like look at him like, you're so cute, or like, you're so beautiful. Like she just like she gave words so freely. So I learned from that friendship that you can love people when you can tell them that you love them. Like
Oh
it's
yeah.
okay to, you don't have to be boss or strong about your emotions. Like you know, you don't have to like hold it to your chest. Let them know that you
Hmm.
love them. And
Hmm.
that's something I took away from that friendship. And I literally now I struggle with it with my family, which is weird because I just never grew up like that with them. Um
Yeah.
but like with friends, no conversation ends without me telling my best friends that, girl, you mean the
Yeah.
world to me. I'm learning with my mom though. I mean, she says thank you.
Don't kill me right now.
She says thank you, but hey, we're getting there, right?
You're
Um,
getting there.
yeah, yeah,
You tell her, "Mommy, I love you."
yeah. Sometimes she just looks at me and just like,
I think my mom would freak out if I tell her that. So
you
we
don't
don't
you
even
don't have to
try
go
that.
there. Yeah,
I
I
don't want her to freak. I know she loves me and all that, but I don't want her to freak out.
I know. Like
Yeah.
she said it a couple times, but she's like, for the most part, she's just like, okay, thank you, bye. And it's just like, at least my feelings are out there for you.
Hey, you're
Yeah,
brave for that. You're brave for that.
yep, yep. Thank you. So something that I took away from what you said was like communication and openness, right? Um,
Hmm.
let's talk about it a little bit, right? So you're saying you being more open with them and helping them
Hmm.
communicate their how they feel actually
Hmm.
is very empowering, not just as a child but even as you grow into your adulthood, right?
Yes.
You're not just
Hmm.
apologizing, because I feel like something we that I struggled with was when they beat you for doing something and they don't tell you why you're getting beaten, or like what the reason behind why they're angry at what you did is. You just apologize and you apologize for everything. And as I grow into adulthood, there was a time in my life I hated saying I'm sorry, not because I wasn't sorry, but just because it had so much power, and I felt like I was giving people power over me for things
Mm.
that I might possibly not even be at fault for doing.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
and thank you. Thank you was something I learned by myself, but I also had to take a step back from saying thank you a lot, because it came to a point where I was thanking people for what they should be doing as human beings, like treating me kindly and not seeing me as being lesser. No, seriously, it was
Yeah.
just that trying to, oh, you're kind to me. Here you go. Thank you. Oh, you did this. Thank you. And
Oh,
it was just like those are
yeah.
things that I feel like I didn't have that family structure to give to me.
Yeah.
Um, so I was overcompensating as an adult, and I just like, it took me a while, but I'm learning some things. And about openness, right? We grew up in
Yes.
in a time where your body parts were named something else. They were BB or JJ or PP or
Girl,
something.
who
And
you
it's just
telling?
like, it's a vagina. Call it what it is. You know,
Hmm.
and then like I feel like when you name those parts what they are,
Hmm.
it empowers these kids in a different way, because
Hmm.
there's that shame to it, right? So if I walked up to someone and go say, "Oh, uncle touched my something," you know,
Yeah,
that
like what?
that rage of uncle touching you. What is the something that he touched? What is the blah, blah, blah? And then like there is no freedom to tell you what really is going on. There is no avenue
Right.
to like come out and say, um, this person touched me here, or even that's even if they have the freedom to come and tell you, because ultimately you were trained to respect adulthood. Coming back to that authoritarian parenting style, right? Is your uncle, you cannot be wrong. They're older than you have to respect them. And sometimes that respect and not having that open communication at home, just it put kids at a very unhealthy
Yeah, for
environment, and
sh-
just yeah.
for sure. I agree with you. My husband is actually Nigerian. I don't know if you know that. I don't
Yeah.
know if I told you.
No.
Um, anyway, he's from Nigeria. So he has a different way of approaching this stuff. He wants me to call his penis ño or something to the kid. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. So he's gonna kill me for saying this. But anyway,
We'll make sure it
my
doesn't watch
child,
this part.
right? Let's make sure. Anyway, my child was 2 years old. I started teaching her when she was one, just saying the words, even though she doesn't understand like body parts. I still said it, but she started like really saying it back to me when she was around 2, and I'll tell her this is a vagina on her.
Hmm.
And so when she turned 3, I taught her that boys have penises and girls have vaginas.
Hmm.
And my husband was like, could not believe that. I was like, why would you tell her the actual word? I said, why not? It's the anatomy.
Yeah.
We tell them this is the head.
Hmm. Hmm.
So
Hmm.
are we
Why not?
calling the head a nickname?
It's
So
a crown.
no, it shouldn't be as like ridiculous as people make it.
Yeah.
Kids have private parts like we do, so it's not like private parts come to them when they're in adulthood. If that
18.
was the case,
Yeah.
it would be different, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, so they are born with it. I need to tell her what the name of it is, so I tell her this is a vagina.
Hmm.
And she asked me one day when she was, I think, 3. She was 3 years old or 4. I can't remember, but she asked me like, so if girls, Ava and I have vaginas and mommy has vagina, what does daddy have in between his legs?
Hmm.
And I was like, he has a penis. And he almost like passed out.
I would have loved to see his face. Just like
He's beside himself. And then at age 5, when she turned 5, she asked me, like, how did Ava and I come
hmm. Oh my
into this?
god.
And I told her the whole thing, like, mommy got pregnant. I didn't tell her like daddy and I,
Yeah.
I didn't tell her
Mommy
all
got
of that.
pregnant.
Mommy got pregnant, baby grew into the tummy, and when it was time for you to come out, the body told me, we get a message, we go into labor, and I
Wow.
went to the hospital, and you were working yourself out, and it was painful, and you came out of my vagina, and she was like, what?
That
She's
is
like, she was like, I don't think I want that. I was
ah.
like, listen, girl,
You
it's
know
not
what?
not anytime
You
soon.
got time, girl. You got time to think about
she's
that.
like,
But
she's like,
that's
I can't
nice.
believe Ava and I came out of that. How is that even? She was just besides herself. Then
Yeah.
one day she came from school. She's like laughing her butt off, laughing.
Why?
I was like, what's going on? She's like, I still can't believe how Ava and I came.
This
So
is
my husband's like, my child is not innocent anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it's better she learns it from me than
yeah.
from someone
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he was like, she's 5. I'm like, I understand that. But I know my 5-year-old. And I told her, I said, now you better not be telling those kids in class about this. She's like, mommy, I would not talk about this in class. I'm like, okay,
Okay.
I'm glad. I'm
Yeah,
glad.
that's really very interesting because I remember being, I think it was, I was like 7 or 8 when my cousin was asking his mom how babies come, and
Hmm.
the woman said, like from the belly, they go
Hmm.
up in your nose and your chest,
Oh,
and then through your
wow.
nose and come out. And the guy was like, "That's not right. Like that doesn't sound right. Like how can
I'm so embarrassed right now.
like how can a baby come through your nose and it goes back to the same size?" Like he was so confused, but Yeah. Learning points for African parents is interesting.
please, please don't ever do that.
No, God, no,
I
no.
know you
I'm
won't.
I'm
I know
made
you won't.
team call it what it is as well. Like let's move past all of that naming. Nah, nah. We're
Now
not
I know
doing
my
it.
child is young, and a lot of people wouldn't agree with me. But she asked,
But
so
you also have to know that sometimes when you tell them early, they don't ask the wrong person.
right.
They don't go out, and if you don't answer truthfully in such a way that they can understand in their own little ways. You didn't tell her everything, but you told her what she could understand right now. She
Hmm.
wouldn't go to somebody else like an uncle to say, let me show you.
Girl,
I
for
know
real,
people like that who
real
have
talk.
gone through, the let me show you part of it, and then it becomes, oh, it's
Hmm.
a snake. Yeah, girl. I'm not even kidding. These are things that I've heard. It's a snake, and then it's like Uncle Snake. What's Uncle Snake in between his legs, or like somebody saying, "Oh, come and put your hands in his pockets," and
Hmm.
then there's something moving down there. 8 year old girl, you know, Uncle
I
has a
can't. I'm
snake. Uncle
laughing,
has
but
a
it's
snake.
not even funny.
Yeah, exactly. These are things that people have. And I read a book a while ago actually, and the girl, a teenager, um, I don't know what they were talking about, and one of the like I think it was like a clique or something. Then asked her like, what's in between your legs, and she was like, I peed, like my pee pee area, and the girl was like, yeah, that's the same place other things go into and come out. Or maybe like your pee area. And she was like so confused. So they took her literally, they gave her a mirror to look. She had never seen it before.
What?
Yeah, an adult. Like, I think a character's like 18 or 19. I can't even remember. But yeah, these are things that people don't even think about just because it's
That's
not supposed
wild.
to be thought about. Like it's not something it's a part of you, but it's not yours. Like society they've conditioned people and culture really
Mhm.
to think that it's
Mhm.
some sort of sacred little something that belongs, I don't know, belongs to God or
To
belongs to
someone
your
else, something
spouse.
else.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
please.
that's actually crazy. But yep. So kudos on that, on calling it what it is, girl. I'm with you on that. But let's not cast our parents all the way, right? What are some parenting
No.
tips or styles that your parents used on you that
Uh huh.
you're currently using on your kids? African parents, we love you. We just want you guys to do
We
better.
love you.
Okay.
Big heart. At
Because
the end of the day, look at us.
we
We're
came
alive
out
and
okay.
great.
Well, I'm in therapy, so I'm not sure how okay I came out, but I'm sorry. I'm just saying your best.
Hey,
You
I'm not saying we're not gonna need therapy. I'm just saying we're
we're here.
alive. We're here
We
to
did
talk
not
about it.
die. Well, the definition of parenting was, you go to school, you have an education, you have
Hmm.
food in your stomach,
Yeah,
and you have
girl.
clothes on
Yes,
your back, and they did
you
that.
have you
So
have a roof on top of your head.
you have a house? Yes. Are you hungry? No. Do you have biro and pen? Yes. I'm a good parent, so thank you. We love you. We really do. But yeah.
uh, so I think something that I'm always gonna take from my parents is that don't ever allow my kids to run me. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It,
American style.
yeah, there's boundaries, okay? So I could say that I'm half and half. Like I can be your funnest mom ever, and
Mhm.
it could turn 360 in in a snap.
In a
And
second,
that's where my parents got me through me.
your dad assisted by your mom,
I
like,
Yeah,
child.
I don't even I like I said to you, I don't flub my kids. But the
Mhm.
things that I do that are not beating wise are questionable, okay?
Okay.
So uh there is no, I told my child today, this happened today,
Yeah.
okay? She's playing her scooter, and I'm very free about them running around the house and doing whatever.
Hmm.
As long as we are going to clean up and, you know,
Yeah.
take it back where it come from. So she was running her scooter in the house, and I'm like, all right, it's time to eat dinner. Go put the scooter away. She goes, no.
Eh?
So I was opening the fridge. I closed the fridge. I said, what did you say? And she looked at me and she was like, nothing.
Nothing.
Again, I don't slap this child.
Yeah. But there's a
I
look.
said,
There's a
I
tone to
said,
it.
now don't you ever say that to me. Because
Yeah.
if you want me to treat you like an adult, I definitely will do that.
Yeah.
And I'm capable of that. So don't play with me.
Yeah. Did you?
And she, yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
did.
No, 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 okay.
I
I was
told her,
actually going to
don't.
ask a question. Did you ever see that video on TikTok about the girl calling the mother bitch, and then like African parents just like throwing the shoes up like go kill this one, like sacrifice for the gods or something.
I did. Is that the one that the kid? Did you see the one that the kid fainted?
Oh no, no. The one I saw was like the
No,
Caucasian.
I don't know what the kid did. I don't know if she said, "Get out of my room" or something. Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
And then all of a sudden we saw like a black screen. The kid is on the floor, and the parents are telling him, um, "You're still here. Don't worry." You're still...
You didn't make
So
it to the other side yet.
yeah,
Oh
you
my
didn't
god,
make it there,
yeah.
but you do this again, you might just
You might just
you'll make it there.
cross successfully
You
for
won't come back.
sure. Yeah, that one. I feel like there's a way we train, or we were trained to respect still authority, even if they're
Mhm.
still free. Even if they're still
Yeah,
the
yeah.
friend. Yeah, like
Absolutely.
yeah.
And I appreciate my parents for that so much. Okay? Because
Mhm.
I'm not about to be that parent that's breaking down crying because I can't handle my kid anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Mhm.
I'm not breaking down and crying in front of my kid like or in the corner like I don't
What
know
are
what to do
you
anymore.
doing?
Like this is too much. No.
Yeah.
It, that's the part where I said I cannot allow my kids to get to the level where I'm not even my mom. So like
I tell her what's going on.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still me and my husband we still have to be in charge. And I mean not in a like you have to do what I say. In a
Hmm.
more like I respect my kids to where I listen to what they're saying. So I expect the same in return.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna tell me no, and when I say treat her like an adult, tonight I'm not tucking you in. You tucking yourself in.
Oh.
Tonight there won't be this cuddles. It's a one time kiss and bye. Like none of this sweet boo boos, honey,
None of that.
talking, none of that. It's
Wow.
silent treatment. And I've learned that my kid cannot handle that. Like she freaks out every time that side of me comes. She's like, I can't. I like, you know, and I make that side very serious. I don't play
Mhm.
with that side because her limit.
Limit, yeah.
So I'm like, let's bring you back, child. Like
Mhm.
I feel I'm your mom. I've done that before, and my husband was like afraid. Like I feel like you're taking it. I said no, I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not taking it far. And she hasn't. She said something to me. She was like, "You have ruined my life."
High five, girl.
I said,
Trust
"I did
me.
what I said," and I don't know why that triggered me so much. I said, "I have done what?"
Ruined a
That
5-year-old
I've
life.
I've ruined your. I said, child, tonight I'm not the one. And I even told her, I said, I'm not showering you today. Your dad is gonna take over this task because I was getting ready to shower them, and he does shower them sometimes. But the fact that I took her younger sister to shower her and I
Mhm.
didn't take her, she was like, wow. She kept like giving me like scary side looks like mom is really like she's not playing
She's not
today.
here yet.
Yeah, and I told my husband, you taking her. I'm not, not tonight.
Wow.
And he was like, and I was like, good night, bye bye, go to bed. Um, and there was no hug or anything. I was like, it's gonna be if you want to be treated like an adult that pisses me off, we're gonna treat you like one. So after some time, and she was like, she came to me, she's like, "Mommy, I have a question." I said, "No, no questions for me. We done for tonight." And I mean, I was serious. After a couple hours, obviously, I said, "Do you understand the reasons why I did what I did?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm never gonna say that again. I'm never gonna do." I said, "Okay." I gave her that good night kiss. I gave her that, her our normal,
Mm-hmm.
nighttime routine. And I said, "Don't try me next time, baby."
So she knows that
So
every.
she's never done it again. Never.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you don't have to spank your kids.
You just have
I'm
to
just
be,
saying.
yeah, yeah. There are other ways
Hmm.
to learn, to teach them a lesson.
Yep.
Yeah, and that would they always remember it too, because I feel like there was a point in my life where I was like, oh, they're not just skin beat me, we move, like just bring it on. Literally,
Yeah. Just beat me already.
yeah, I know, like let's get this over with and move on to the next thing, so I can do it again and you can beat me again, and
That's
then we move
exactly
on.
what my friend said. Like it
Yeah,
became
yeah, literally. And I went to a
like
boarding
what, a
school.
ritual or something.
Yeah, I went to a boarding school with like 4,500 students. So like,
What?
yeah, I know. Beating, yelling, just bring it on. Let's get it over with. Like, and then let me do it again tomorrow. You beat me again. Okay, that's fine. And then we take a break for a week, and then we, we come back
To
again.
come back.
But yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So I know for sure beating isn't always the right way. Does it reset some people's heads? Yes, but not
Oh yeah.
everybody. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So let's talk about what our parents
Sorry.
did that they could have done better for us. For me, I would say like openness or communication. Um,
Girl, that was my answer. You stole that out of my
I saw
mouth.
it.
You
Yeah,
stole it.
yeah. I'll say openness because there are a lot of things that now I look back on. So I had a meet, not a meeting, but like I had a conversation with my mom about 2 years ago, just like understanding her marriage and the sacrifices she had to make and why we had to go to boarding school and things like that.
Hmm.
I feel like if she had explained to me as a child while we were going through those things, I wouldn't have had like just held on to the anger and the hurt and everything that just I was trying to make sense of as a young child, but they weren't even my responsibilities to try to understand or like make sense of it. And also the guilt of, maybe if my mom didn't have this, she would have had this instead. If she didn't have 3 kids, should have been able to pick herself up
Yeah.
or something,
Yeah.
um also like the openness of just for the longest time. um I wasn't raised in like in a structured home where your parents come together, somebody goes to work, somebody comes back home, none of that. And it was just like I was always coming and going to boarding school. And if you know anything about Nigerian boarding schools, people are always coming and going. So like my friends are always coming and going a year or two. They will always come. Of course, I've had people like stay eventually. I still have one of my closest friends. We've been friends since like GS1, which is like almost 18 years now. It's crazy. This is like the one of the oldest relationships I've had. Um, but like I also got like used to people always leaving. So I have no expectations
Oh,
whatsoever of people staying.
okay.
And for the longest time, up until like I was my late 20s, I still let friends go. Like I have no problems cutting people off. And
Yeah.
it still plays out right now because I can meet people right now, click with you, have fun, but tomorrow, if I don't ever see you again, I'm okay with it.
Right.
Like, or like sometimes people like,
Wow.
yeah, like we hang out tonight, we play with like just, and then tomorrow people expect the same energy or something. It's like, girl, boy, that
Girl,
was
goodbye.
yesterday. I don't know you like that. And so people were always like, what are you? And like for the longest time, I didn't know I had an issue like that. I didn't know
Yeah.
because I didn't always expect people to stay, or I didn't always expect people to be open. How they're
Hmm.
feeling, what they're like. It's even dating for me. Just like, oh, we have fun, cool. We have an argument, we leave. Like,
Ah, we
yeah,
moved.
we move exactly. So like, these are some things that I feel like I've struggled with. From my parenting my parenting me style, that I'm not taking on to my own parenting styles when I have kids. So I would say, I've learned from them and I'm better for it.
Yeah.
But like, what are some things or your experience that you want to share?
Pretty much the same thing, but I'll give an example of like,
Mhm.
I remember back in, was it high school?
Mhm.
I came home and my friends invited me to the movie. And like a good girl, I was honest, and I told my parents, my friends want to go take me to the movie, like my
Yeah.
girlfriend. And my dad was like, absolutely not.
Mm.
And I was like, why? Because I said so. No. I wanted an answer. I said, why not? Like, what is gonna happen if I go with my friends to the movies? I
Mhm.
literally wanted an answer. He said, Aline, I said no, and because I said so.
Yeah.
You can go with your sisters. I'm like, I understand that I can go with my sisters, but at the
But I
same
don't
time,
want
it's
them.
like, why can't I go with my friends?
Yeah.
You know? Um, anyway, so that's one example. And another thing is like, uh, I need to like if I'm sad and crying in my room by myself, and my parents don't know, and we live in the same house, and I'm crying about some stupid stuff, but at the time, to me, that's huge. You
Mhm.
know, like
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm crying about maybe a student being like mean to me that day.
Yeah.
That's not stupid. It's something that can turn into something major if
Yeah.
it's not taken care of. Or I'm sad because, you know, everybody in school is changing clothes every day and I'm not,
Yeah. And that's
you
and that's
know?
valid. Yeah.
Yeah. And so my parents could easily, I could talk to my parents, hey, like, this is how I feel. You can explain to me, like, look, I got 5 kids and, we're new in America, stuff
Mhm.
like that. Of course, it's not the answer I want. Like,
But
I'm not going to
it's
get the
yeah.
answer like we're gonna go buy clothes. That's
Mhm.
not the answer I want, but at least I would understand
Mhm.
that okay, mom and dad have 5 kids, and even if I know it, you still as a teenager you don't think that logically.
Yeah.
I know that they have 5 kids, but it's about me right now. That's how
Exactly. I want my
teenagers
clothes. Yeah.
function. Yeah. So I think that I was sad about a lot of those things
Mm.
growing up here because I came here when I was 11, and so I went through middle school and high school here,
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
was it was crazy because I'm
Mhm.
like I'm wearing the same outfits all the
And
time.
people were changing every other week. Yeah.
People are changing it here, literally, like they wear different outfits all
Yeah.
the time. So I was like, as I grew up, obviously that wasn't
Yeah.
that was like okay, whatever.
Mhm.
But at that time that was a big deal to me, and so I wish I could was able to express that to my mom,
Yeah.
especially because she's the one that did our shopping, and she did amazing. She really, looking back, she did the most. Okay, and
Yeah.
5 kids, she did it.
Yeah. A lot.
um she did a lot. I only have 2 and I'm already like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so looking back, I'm like, where did she get the money for that? Where did she
And
get the money
how
for
did you
that?
even do it?
But as a teenager, I'm like, why don't you have money? It's like it's a whole different.
Because adults you should have money. That's
Now
what
I'm
I
like,
tell.
oh my god, how
Yeah.
did she do this?
Yeah. I literally,
So
I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was like, "So you're trying to tell me my mother was already a mother at my age? Good job, kudos to you." Cause sis is still trying to figure out life. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's actually very crazy to think like we are at that age where we expected so much of our parents,
right,
you know. And it's
right.
just like maybe that's why I'm like overcompensating with my mom now. Cause like, girl, I'm like, you want this here, you go take it. Like, apart from me not giving you grandkids yet, here's my money,
Yeah,
spend it. This
yeah,
is just like
exactly.
how were they hustling? Like you said, 5 kids in their 30s in a new country.
I don't know. I had all my mom was giving us money for snacks to go to and I can't even right now I don't even want to think about that.
You know what?
I'm
Yeah.
like, where did she get like it wasn't anything huge, but it was like let's say $5. That's still
But
huge.
it was
She
still
has
something.
five.
That's
She has
25.
5 kids.
That's 25. And depending how many days in the week she gives you guys.
Yeah, she gave it to me every day, like Monday to Friday when I went to school because I was walking, you know?
Oh.
Yeah, so she was bomb. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like I still had all kinds of crazy thoughts in my head. Why am I not shopping every time?
Teenage, yeah.
Um and the other thing is that my mom did not talk to me before I got married. Like not like I don't mean like we weren't talking. I mean like she didn't give me any like advice. She's
Yeah.
like she was just like another oh
You're
like
getting married.
another you're getting married. Congratulations. I'm happy
Happy
for
married
like
life.
have a good marriage life. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. Like she didn't really sit me down and be like, in marriage sometimes A and B can happen
Mm-hmm.
and or when this happens, just know that like you're not alone and you need to talk about it with somebody that you trust or tell me
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm over here like being dropped in here like
Mm-hmm. I'm married now. What next? Yeah.
like I know I'm an adult, but I still need guidance. So I feel like communication
Mm-hmm.
is important, and I think my mom is not really used to talking about big, serious things like when I was having the baby, like she's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know nothing about babies. Like when I was in Africa, when you guys were little, I had help,
Yeah.
and I didn't raise kids here, so I don't really know.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, how do you know about kids? She's asking me, and I'm like, I'm
And
researching.
researching online. Yeah. 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 And that's
um,
fair. So let's talk about that marriage and relationship real quick, right? So the ideal African is high school, college, no boys in college, no boys in freshmen, no boys throughout,
no
and then
boys,
you
period.
graduate. It's like boom, thank you for this certificate. Where is your husband? And it's like,
Right.
mommy, you say I should focus on school. How am I a graduate and you expect me to graduate with a whole husband?
Yeah.
So that for me, I feel like it's something we need to begin to talk about.
Oh yeah.
That whole idea of you can have a girlfriend. I have a my friend's son. Um, his girlfriend was coming to meet her, and she was like, "Mutsunayo, I don't know what to expect." And I was like, I mean, good kudos to you. First of all, your Nigerian mother and your 18-year-old son is bringing her girlfriend, girl.
That's a good
That's a
sign.
good one. And
Yeah.
then like something talking about home training, right? The guy told the girl, "You cannot call my mom by her first name. No, it is Mrs. something." So get that straight. Like that respect
That's
has to be
awesome.
there. Yeah. And then like, and that's that whole thing of like, how do we even prepare for marriage? At least you're talking about your mom not talking to you about marriage. Did she even talk to you about relationship? Did she talk to you about
Girl, no.
sex? Exactly.
Girl.
Marriage, I feel like because they feel like it's such a lifetime thing and you're always learning as you go. And also like their marriages, unfortunately, I'm sorry,
The
most
only
of them.
thing my mom told us was like, you guys like make sure you date around
Mm,
before you finalize with who you
who
wanna
you are, yeah.
settle with for the rest of your life. So that's all she said.
Wow, that's crazy.
But I don't think she means like sleeping around. I think
Yeah.
she means like looking
Yeah,
at guys
yeah,
and
yeah,
getting to know
yeah.
them.
Hmm.
So I just want to clarify that she didn't mean like
Yeah.
the
It's actually very
you
funny because
were
my mom is all about you cannot marry what you've not tried. Like
mm,
she's not for Sim service at all. Like she's not here for it. She doesn't even want to try. She doesn't even want to hear it. So we're not on the same page about
really.
that. Yeah, no, my mom is not. She's like, what if it's not good? You're stuck forever. But I'm just like, girl,
So what about you? What do you
I'm
believe
team
in?
celibacy. I'm a you hold that. Well, I just became I
You're
just
pro.
became I just became to, you hold it together. But yeah, my mom is just like, nah, gotta test it. If not, then you dump it.
And is your
But
dad on the same page with her?
I don't know. I've never had that conversation with my dad.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know
Well,
about that.
that's
It'll be
intense,
interesting
you
to hear
know?
what he has to say, though. Yeah.
That's the first one that I've heard, coming from, that generation
No, really.
before
Yeah,
us.
yeah. And I was going to say something about like their marriages. Most of them, like most of our parents, endured marriage. They didn't really enjoy marriage. So I'm guessing that's why sometimes it's very difficult for them to tell you, or at least our age getting married, this is how you should do it, because they know we're different. We're our
Mm,
own generation. We're our own
mm,
women, and
mm.
they can really what's what I'm looking for. They can really, the parallel isn't really there for them. Um,
Right.
they raised girls
You're
not
right.
to be like them, and in some ways they don't really know how to empower those girls when it comes to the woman they've become when it comes to marriage, because they know for sure the dynamic is different now.
That's very true.
Yeah,
You're right. I never thought about it that way.
yeah, that's what I think, but yeah.
Wow.
So parents and our parents.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what? I have done a lot of unlearning
Mhm.
in
Mhm.
order for me to shift my way of thinking. You
Yeah.
know, uh, now my husband is deep Nigerian, like
Nanja man.
tradition, traditional. He's not like he's very lenient in a lot of things that others are not, but I get that's probably why I'm with him,
Yeah.
um, but in other ways, like I was talking about to him about accepting our kids regardless of what you know what happens in the future. As far as you see what's happening in generations now, we don't know what's coming,
Yeah.
and he's like, no,
No.
I'm going to disown whoever, like that kind of conversation.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to, like, day by day help him, like, shift that mindset,
Mhm.
because you've done the best that you can. As an adult, they decide.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Nobody blames you for what they become as adults.
Yeah.
Right now, at this age, of course, they're gonna blame you for whatever behavior that they're
Mhm. Exhibiting.
putting out there.
Mhm.
But as adults, like, I'm 30 years, is anybody really gonna sit here and be like,
Your mother did not raise you right.
where, no, like where's your mom right now as you're doing, you know what I'm saying? My
Yeah.
mom has nothing to do with this
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want him, I tell him, I want you to remember that as an adult, they can decide whatever.
Yeah.
And so we have to be ready and open minded with whatever that
Mhm.
is. I'm not saying you have to accept it, but I want you to be open minded to where you don't have to be okay with it. And the kids have to understand you don't have to be okay with it.
Mhm.
But you cannot say disown, because that is like the truest, like, worst thing you can do to
You own
your child.
child. Mhm.
You don't have to be okay with it, but they still need to be welcome to, like, come over to the house and, mingle with the family. But still, them knowing that you're not okay with they have to be okay with that, because
Mhm.
you're not
Mhm.
forced to agree with whatever is.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Just be respectful of
So
one another, and your
yeah,
whatever
right,
path they choose to
right,
go to walk on. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
yeah.
This has been an interesting episode. Do you have any final word as a wrap up the episode for parents or for people like me looking to be parents? Well, go ahead.
I do. I'm gonna say that parenting is very hard. So
Mm,
I give props to my parents, even though there are things that I'm not gonna do the same as them.
mhm.
There are things that I'm thankful for them for.
Yeah.
There I take some things that I liked that they did and incorporate it into mine, and some things I throw away and add my own.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that my own is the best,
Yeah.
right? But it works for my
Your
kids and it
family.
works for my
Yeah.
family. So I want people to know that when you see moms out there struggling, or dads, I want to include dads because they are also involved.
Mhm.
Just and the kid is acting out, just know that whatever is happening in that moment, you don't know what the situation is. The kid
Yeah.
just might be having a tantrum.
Yeah.
And so don't throw stones at somebody just because the kid is acting out. It is very hard to be a
Mhm.
parent. It's very hard. And give parents grace. Like, we are not perfect. I told my 5-year-old, I'm not perfect. And so is daddy. He ain't perfect.
Yeah.
We make mistakes, but we have to learn from our mistakes. And so talking to the kids and telling them, like, I don't want you looking at me like I'm perfect. And then someday, like, dang, mom was really not perfect, you know.
Yeah.
I want her to know from now, and she needs to grow with knowing that I'm
Yeah.
not perfect.
You're human too. Yeah.
And I tell her things like, see how mommy left the trash can open? I'm not supposed to be doing that.
Yeah.
But I left
Yeah.
it open because I'm not perfect. And little things like that. Nothing like major where she's gonna be like, huh? You know?
Yeah.
But she's like, yeah, you did leave it open. I said, see, like,
Mom
I'm
is
not
not
perfect to
perfect.
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's like, you're right, but God and Jesus are perfect, right? I'm like, you're right about
Yeah.
that.
That one is a different
So
level.
yeah, so I think just talking to your kids, communicating your rights and wrongs. When you're wrong, you need to apologize. When I'm wrong, I apologize to my kids.
Wow.
And
Wow.
that's one thing that my parents didn't do. They absolutely did not apologize for
Nope.
anything.
Nope.
They didn't feel like they had. No, they didn't owe me an apology.
Yeah.
And so it's hard for me to apologize. I've been,
Mm.
I've been working hard on this, and
Yeah.
I've gotten so much better. But even then, now my husband tells me it is hard for you to apologize.
Wow.
And I'll just be like, what are you talking about? You know?
You're like, I'm an African woman after all. We're never wrong.
Right? Well, a woman is never
Yeah.
wrong. But yeah, so I say, you're doing amazing. If you're a parent out there, you're doing amazing. Okay? Don't beat
Mhm.
yourself up. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing. If it's working for your family,
Mhm.
do it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you're the one that's picking up that family. I'm not gonna be in your home to do that for your kid. You're the
Mhm.
only one waking up in the middle of the night or waking up early in the mornings to sacrifice whatever it is.
Yeah.
So don't listen to, like, there's a lot of negative things out there about parenting that makes parents feel down on themselves.
Mm.
Just know that keep pushing.
Yeah, and that's
So
something I feel like I also agree with, right? Like that idea of this is a right parenting, or like this is the
yes,
best way to parent. There's really no
yes,
best way. You just do your best and hope like your best is good enough, or at least get them
yeah.
somewhere good enough to be a good human being. But yeah, oh my God, this has been so much fun, Elaine. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Yay.
And that concludes today's episode on parenting. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section what are some things you'll be taking away from your parents' parenting style, and what are some things you're definitely not going to be using from their parenting toolkit. Until next time, whatever it is you want to be, whoever it is you want to become, if that's a parent, an intentional parent, all you have to do is start. Do not forget to subscribe, share with friends and family, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Sense&Rants, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Bye, y'all.